first thing we're going to do today is go over the morning math, which we did from yesterday. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, all right. So the first question was this one, which said you had to fill in the blanks for the missing values, which would be in the input-output machine. So we know that it should be multiplied by 5 and then subtract by 10. So the hint, let's see, actually, oh, the hint, yeah, okay, so we know it's going up by 5, so that's gonna be one of the numbers. And then over here, it's going up by 25, but that actually isn't in our machine. So it's a little bit of guess and check. The reason, also, you're going to see within here that I have gone back and hand marked these, because if you were getting answers back automatically, like if you go into it, you're not necessarily going to see your accurate score, because if somebody put times or multiply rather than putting the key, which I did is like just the multiplication symbol, then the computer doesn't recognize it as being correct. Okay, so I don't want you to focus on the number that the computer happened to get back to you. Go to the very last question, or if you're not sure, just message me and I'll tell you what you got. Okay, but overall it went super, super, super well. Okay, so the first one should be multiply by 5 and then subtract 10. You know what? I'm gonna show you one that's instead. It's a little bit easier to see. Okay, so, all right, times by 5, subtract 10. Okay, so if we're putting in a couple more values, that was the next question, we had to carry on for 2 more values. So we know that this one is going up by 5, so it's going to be 30, and this is going to be 35. And then if we do times by 5, subtract 10, let's see here. Okay, so we have 30 times 5 is 150, and then 150 subtract 10 is 140. And then if we were to do this next one, we also can recognize that the pattern here is increasing by 25. So the other method you could do is go like this to have 165. Okay, so those should have been the 2 answers for that one, or I guess the 4 answers. That part was out of 4. Okay, the next thing they want is, what if this is 60? How can we figure that out? Well, the way that you are going to get full marks for this, so getting double points, 2 marks, is for the answer and then also for showing your work. So to do this, we know it is times by 5 and then subtract 10. Okay, so we have to do 60 times 5, which is, we can just do this with basic facts. 6 times 5 is 30, but then we have to add on a 0, so the answer should be 300. Okay, and then we have to subtract 10, so 300 subtract 10 is 290. Okay, so that should be your answer. 1 mark for doing it by showing the way that you use the actual pattern rule, and then the second answer, or second mark, would be for the answer itself. Okay, alrighty, so that so far we're out of 10 marks, because this was out of 4, and then this question was also out of 4, and this was out of 2, and this last question was only out of 1. So Hasham and Malik are playing a math game. Hasham says the number, and then Malik applies the pattern rule to that number to come up with the result. Okay, so what is the most accurate pattern rule for Hasham and Malik's game? Okay, you're going to notice that they don't actually give you the pattern rule that relates the input to the output. So this is kind of a little bit of a tricky question. That means you have to find the best one from what there is. Okay, so let's see, go through process of elimination. Hasham's numbers are, oh, I spelled that wrong, sorry. Hasham's numbers are multiples of 1 and Malik's results are multiples of 5. Okay, this actually is an old PAT question. So that is true, but is it the best? Is it the most accurate? Okay, let's see if we can find something better. As Hasham's numbers increase by 1, that is true. Malik's numbers increase by 10. Okay, that is also true, but let's see if we can find something that's even more accurate. Hasham's numbers start at 1 and increase by 1. Malik's results start at 15 and increase by 10. Is that more accurate than the other one? Yes. So far, this is our favorite one so far. It beats out this, beats out B, and it also beats out A. Hisham's results are 10.5 times greater than Malik's numbers, which start at 1 and increase by 1. Okay, well, we know that Malik's, that's correct for Malik's, but is this true? Okay, it would be true for the first one, but it's not going to be true for the second one. So that does not make sense. So our answer for this one was C. Okay, so double check, that's part A. So you can message me if you are not able to see the results that you got on Edmodo. Yeah, and I can just tell you what they are. Okay, so that's part 1.